Well, welcome to the Howie Games. I actually don't know how to introduce these blokes, so I'm going to go with Pez and Higo, which is what they're known on their amazing multimedia platform, The Grade Cricketer. Great to see you both. What would you, if we were sitting in a pub, both of you, and I came up and said, "Oh, what do you blokes do?" Like, what?
Are you like my dad?
Oh, no, I'm just I'm a random dude that just likes a conversation.
I'd say, please leave me alone, sir. I'm just having a private meal with my family.
Right. So you'd be really standoffish.
No, mate, we've never been able to answer it. Like, it always turns into a mumble. Like, we have this problem when we go overseas as well. It's like it says occupation, and like, what are you meant to write? Like, internet podcast thing about cricket mainly. Yeah, it's like if you're trying to be really hoity-toity about it, we would say like, a digital sports media venture. Okay. Like that'll be on the About Us page of our website.
Yep.
And if like you're talking to your friends who want to like grind you down, they would just say like he runs a shitty little internet podcast. I don't know if I could say that here, but yeah.
Well, it is hard to categorize. I must say, I normally just put media. But then some countries I go to, media is not that popular, so I don't put media.
I reckon I can guess one.
Whenever I go to India, I must say on the little form, I've done this the last few times, and I'm filled with pride when I do it because I can't believe the job I get to do. I'm sure you blokes are the same. I put on their occupation, I put on their cricket commentator, and I feel really good about myself when I land at Delhi, and you get to put that on the little rivals form.
Totally. We had that going into immigration a few weeks ago, where like, again, it was because we do such like a nebulous thing. I think I was like mucking up how to say it, and they were like, "So you're on YouTube?" And we're like, I'm like, yeah. He's like, so what do you talk about? I said cricket, and then like the eyes just come up and like light up. They're like, oh, what is it? And so it went from like, should I let you into the country to like, I really want to see what you do and what your opinions are about
and
Virat.
Here's a 5-year visa.
Yeah, exactly.
So as we are recording this we won't discuss what happened on day one in Barbados because that will be well and truly out of date. But what we will discuss is that play finished at 7:30 this morning. We are in here at 9:30 Melbourne time, and you have already put out an episode, a podcast, and a YouTube video, which to me shows you how hardworking you blokes actually are, because you've obviously watched the cricket through the middle of the night. How important is immediacy in your job?
Oh, in our stuff, like very. Because I mean it's basically fish and chip paper, really. Yep. And you know, with sport generally, like the story changes so much so quickly, right? So, like if we waited 5 hours, something could have changed in that time, and so then it becomes redundant. Also, like just consumption habits of like we try and get it out so people can listen to it on the way to work, right? Or like because if you wait like sort of half the day, then the next opportunity people will get to listen to it might be like the end of the day, you know, so things can change. So immediacy is very important for us.
You've come into the beautiful Howie Games studios.
It is beautiful.
I've said it on a sort of probably a headingly middle of summer 23 degrees. But I noticed you already take your jumper off. He goes, so if I've said it more on a Delhi sort of 32, just let me know.
No, I want it hotter. I'll go.
We can go hotter. I can make it Delhi IPL.
Want it hotter for Higo as well. Well, he's already been at the gym this morning too. So
we need to establish cricket bona fides, which I don't know. I feel like an imposter in the job I do. But you blokes are far better cricketers than I. So we'll start with you, Higo. Yeah. Tell me that the highest standard of cricket you've played before we get to your best ever day. Thank you. Finally.
Can we cut this out?
No.
We assured Howie before the show there will be nothing cut out. That's the policy.
I must admit, when I sit next to Brian Lara and Adam Gilchrist and Shane Warne, I don't generally bring up Barwon C grade because you do lose some credibility.
I've seen you. I've seen clips of you. You can play.
Well, but this is about you boys. So here you go.
Let's
you don't
talk about
like
the Middle East now.
Okay.
There, I've got some opinions. No. Okay, so I played grade cricket for 15 years.
Yep.
I played every grade except for first grade.
Right.
I played second grade. I played for the amount of years where it's like, I was there or thereabouts, but actually middle of nowhere, really. I spent 3 years overseas in the UK. I played 3 seasons for a club called Farnham, which is in Surrey, as an overseas pro over there. And then I turned 26 and I realised I wasn't any good. And so I came home and decided to get a job. And that job was near enough doing a podcast with my friend. So I'm still looking for the job.
Okay, I just need to explore a few more cricket things with you.
Yeah, sure.
Were you a batter or bowler?
I was a batter.
A batter. What number?
Between 3 and 5.
Compare yourself to a current international cricketer with the style you play.
Yes. Great question.
This is so.
This is great.
Yeah.
No, you have to go. Come on.
I got another question.
Okay, good.
Get you to ask.
Now
Good.
this might not hold, but I would say currently Cameron Green batting 3 for Australia.
Well done.
Very good answer. Very good answer. Very
Sorry,
good.
Green.
That's
Sorry.
a shame. That's a
What
shame.
what stopped you going from second grade to first grade? What was the thing?
Politics. It was all politics.
Bloody local cricket. We all cop it.
Unbelievable. What stopped me? I just didn't work hard enough.
Okay.
That was the answer.
Okay, so it wasn't a talent; it was effort.
Well, damn it. Okay, thanks.
You left yourself open there.
Pezza has played
so
first
you think
grade.
you can play?
Yeah. Oh, I could play. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I would have gone all the way if it wasn't for my bad knee.
Yeah.
Which I didn't have. Look, I probably could have played. I just didn't train enough.
Okay.
I didn't work hard enough. That was That's where I'm at cricket at 39 years old.
You feel like you're a man that's slightly unfulfilled.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And when I stopped playing when I was 31, so 7-8 years ago. And like I didn't think that I would have to keep talking about my tortured cricket career
In the media.
Yeah. And then then it turns out I got into a job talking about the exact thing that I got out of. So it still haunts me. But I don't actually. I miss playing a bit, but not really.
Okay.
Like I miss some Saturdays. Like after a win, that sort of stuff, like camaraderie, driving to games with your friends.
Yes.
Just being in your 20s, generally speaking, to be honest. But then when I think about all the anxiety and torture that cricket brings, and how much time, even though I didn't work hard enough, how much time I did spend to it to not achieve anything.
You're huffing about this.
I was like, well, that's all we got time for. You just asked one question. What grade he played? Now they're in a therapy session.
What you guys do so well is you have a common view to international cricket. What I'm sure you don't miss is training Tuesday, training Thursday, getting ready, wiping out your whole Saturday, beach time, partner time, family time, and you get out in the middle early and you get knocked over second rock, and then you sit there and watch your mates for 100 overs do what you want to do. That is the mentally horrible part of it.
Absolutely,
sure.
yeah. Opportunity cost is everything, yeah. Yes. Especially when your friends are at the beach or you just started seeing someone and they're like, what are you doing this weekend? It's like, I got Hawkesbury away this weekend and we're bowling, so it's going to be hot. There are flies the size of cats out there.
I got knocked over last week as well. So I'm just sitting there.
I'm sort of fishing, sort of fifth stump.
Yeah.
She's walked out of the room by this point.
Right.
Pezza, yourself, cricket. No, actually, I just one more for Higo. Your greatest individual performance on a cricket field in your life.
There's just so many to choose from. My high score was 153.
That's a magnificent knock.
Yeah.
In what grade?
It was in the UK.
Okay.
It's in the UK.
And was it stylish? Was it dashing?
Not really.
Right.
Not really. But we did bowl the opposition out for 88, so that probably says a lot about how they were going.
Did you bat first or second?
We batted first.
Okay. Yeah. How did you celebrate your 153?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
Can we stop talking about my cricket, please?
Oh, no, you are. This is why you're a genius, Howie. I'm sorry to glaze there, but you've actually come right into the very, very crux of a fact about cricket. I'm sure you have this with actual good players that you talk about because one thing in cricket, we talk about this all the time, is that in Australia we have such tall poppy syndrome. You are not actually able to talk yourself up about anything. Our gag on it is that nobody apart from 5 players have ever made it in cricket in Australia. I've seen you in the press box. A lot of guys walk through the press box, but there are guys who played 20 tests for Australia, who in the rest of their world they have achieved this amazing dream. They are 5th graders. In the press, for example, there's 5 guys in Australia who made it. I think maybe Bradman made it, just about.
I think he probably
just
got
about.
there.
Yeah, Punter, Warney, probably Richie Beno.
I'll pay Beno.
Keith Miller, and
Gilly. You got to throw Gilly,
Gilly's in there. Yeah, look, okay, maybe more than 5. But so it makes cricketers very uncomfortable to actually speak positively about what they did, because I know the rest of the cricket community will be like, "Oh, you think you can play, do you, mate? Are you serious?" Yeah. The amount of people rolling their eyes at Higo's going, "Oh, I made 100, did you?" That's interesting.
But it's to be celebrated.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what grade it is. Batting to make 150 is a fantastic effort. Pez.
Yeah.
yourself. Tell us about your cricket pedigree.
I did play every grade.
So you play first grade.
I did.
So in your social sphere, you're the alpha, and you just have to count
Well,
out because he's
actually,
played first.
Like what's happened is since we started doing this job where we talk to people who got paid to play cricket, you realise that we are all the same to them. Like whether you play first grade or fifth grade, or you play like C grade in Geelong or whatever, we're all in the same pool to these guys. So
we're shit.
So exactly. Yeah. Exactly. We're all like playing Kanga cricket, basically. So like maybe for a few years after my cricket career finished, I walked around like proud of what I'd done, but now I spend my time in the orbit of people who look at me like I'm just a fifth grader. So does it mean anything? I don't know.
Well, it does.
Like on on Channel 7, for example. Like I know like James Brayshaw, right? I don't even know if audiences are aware that he averaged 40 playing first class cricket
Against very
good players.
Yes.
But it's like, I haven't seen you on TV, so you're a commentator and a president of a footy club. You know what I mean? So
but
you
he
can
is
never make it.
a slight exception to the rule because he'll be happy to sit there and tell you with a smile on his face how good he was and how stiff he was. So who did you play for?
Oh, does he really?
Oh, he loves it.
Oh,
he
really?
loves it. But
That's
that's his persona, and he gets away with it.
Interesting.
He's a confident. So who did you play for?
So I played. We both played Sydney grade cricket around the same era. I played for Balmain, which is now Sydney, as well as North Sydney as well. And
Battle Bowl.
I started as a bowler. I was like so many guys. I was a leg spinner, like a leg spinner who had dreams of being Shane Warne. Got to the point where I couldn't repeat the same ball twice, like so many, and kind of cobbled something together with the bat after that. So I always feel in my soul I'm a leggy, but I played my best cricket as a batter.
So I'm a 51-year-old that is still hoping I can get more consistent with my leggies. It's been passed down my family generation because my son is now 13 bowling leggies, and it is a tortured existence. I don't care whether you're playing C grade or whether you're playing for your country. It's the hardest thing in cricket, bowling leggies.
When I go to bed at night, legitimately, I think every single night about like my action, and no, I'm serious, and I haven't bowled a leg spinner in a competitive cricket game since like 2018. Like that was the last time I played.
But it's still in your head.
It's the same for you. Like you become crazed.
Yes, you do.
It like wraps itself into your soul. So I had those dreams and had some promise as a junior, but it happens to so many people. I went through puberty and other kids did too, amazingly, and they developed muscles and started dispatching it everywhere, and that knocked the confidence, and I just couldn't put it together. I was a bowler who like I could bowl a ball to a professional player and defeat them, and then the next ball would be hit for six by a 12-year-old, and that was just psychologically torturous. I tried as hard as I could for as long as I could, but it just fell away as the batting came on, I guess, and I made grades where they're like, you will not bowl. So yeah.
And greatest performance on a cricket field?
My best. I made 202 not out in a second grade game, which is that's
a big number.
It.
And with the ball, did you ever like just rip through someone?
Well,
it can be under 14.
I'm sorry, he says hear this, but like I was when I was playing fourth grade, before in pre-season, my dad got a call from the secretary of the club at Balmain, Alan Morrison. Shout out to Alan Morrison if you're still with us. But he called Dad and he said, "We think Sam's got a lot of promise, and we'd like to select him in the first grade trial for tomorrow against Penrith, who were last year's premiers."
Yep.
And I was playing fours, and Dad called and told me, "He's like, you're playing first grade tomorrow."
And you were playing fours?
I was in fours the year before, and I was like, I knew I was fucking good.
Sounds about right.
And it sounds about right. Yep. So I got into the car. With like these first graders who I looked up to, we drove to the ground, said good day to everybody, like, yeah, Sammy, welcome, blah, 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 played against Penrith. I was brought up, but Greg Mayle was captaining, was brought on, we bowled first, took 2 for 20, 2 top order bats, and then selection night was that night. And I was like, I'm at least playing twos here. I've just walked into ones and taken 2 for 20. Such is the mercurial nature of leg spin. And I sat down with, all my 4th grade friends around my age. I was like, I won't be sitting with you boys, you know. So like, see you later. I'll be up the front. Nice knowing you. Yeah. And then the club captain Greg Hayne stood up and he read out the 4th grade side and he named me in 4s. And he said, the thing with Sammy, and no one said anything to me all day. The thing with Sammy is he was accidentally selected in once today. Sam Hinton was meant to play. Bowled the house down 2 for 20.
So you're a Peter Taylor, Mark Taylor style operation.
It was, and I've never seen the joy on faces of my friends who I'd been giving it to, you know, one of whom was best man at his wedding and stuff like that, at having like talked myself up so much. So I believe that was my best bowling performance, but it just goes to show that the brutal nature of leg spin, where, you know, you can have days where you can like weave magic against great players, and then other days where you wouldn't belong on a kid's field. And that was really my experience of bowling.
I'm going to share something with you two that I've never shared because of my role in cricket. But you've given me confidence now that you've talked yourself up and said you're the next Cameron Green. Said you're Stu McGill.
Yeah.
I finished the under-14 season in the Tarragona District Cricket Association, breaking the record for the most wickets in the history of the competition.
Really? Oh, you're on your way.
60-odd wickets of leg spin, right?
You know exactly how many wickets.
67.
Yeah.
67.
At 12
probably more, 6, I think.
Exactly.
And I think the record still stands.
Yeah.
Because we probably only played 8 or 9 games. So this is me. You and me are battling out Warren McGill for the spot in the Australian side. I got immediately put into A grade.
Yep.
With the big boys, who showed a very different time then in country cricket. Why is this kid in our team? And might have a couple of full tosses in the first over. Blokes yelling out at fine leg, get him off. What's he doing? And pretty much for 30 years until I started playing with my son again, I did not practice leg spin again because my confidence was gone.
Absolutely.
So
I think all leg spinners have that kinship as well. Everyone knows the pain that you've gone through.
And that mental weakness that we obviously both share.
Totally.
Okay, so cricket is going. Before the grade cricketer starts, what is the career path that you're both heading down?
We both had proper jobs. So I just finished, when I came back from the UK, I was doing law. And then I just finished and graduated. And then we basically turned this full time. So that was a really good decision from a HEX perspective.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was doing beforehand. So I was 22 when I went to the UK, then I was 26 when I came back, and then I started studying, and so I was about 30, 31. Yeah, so I was doing law.
I had an undergrad in arts and politics, and then I did a master's in communications.
Wow.
I worked at a social enterprise called AIM, like an Indigenous education program in Sydney and Melbourne for a couple of years, and then I worked in media relations and corporate affairs at Telstra, so just up the road.
Wow.
And it was, it was so that was just a suit job. Taught me a lot about the media ecosystem, and there are a lot of people who worked in that department who are extremely intelligent, but I wasn't particularly stimulated by corporate work, and we were kind of like doing, I know we'll get to the grade cricketer, but the grade cricketer came up during that time and ended up kind of gravitating towards that.
So we have a lot of kids listening to this show, and you never know what theme is going to come up. And this won't be a serious episode, but if you're listening out there, I think what you're understanding here is do a job you enjoy, because you'll be far better at it than being stuck in a job you don't enjoy, is what I'm getting from both of you two gentlemen, which certainly relates to me. So the birth of the grade cricketer, how did you two meet? And before, I think, was it a... Okay. No, I'm not going to ask another question because you're both laughing. So how did you meet?
So the grade cricketer started when it was my first year of not playing grade cricket. So I'd moved down to Melbourne for love when I was 25.
That's nice.
From Sydney. Yeah, well, I'm married to Tori now. I have two kids.
Hello to Tori.
And she definitely won't be listening, but...
Hey, you haven't seen the numbers on this show.
Yeah, oh, no, I've seen him, and I can still guarantee. I mean, I wouldn't be disappointed if...
Come on, Tori.
I love Howie.
What sport's she into?
You're on Howie, are you?
Yeah.
What sport Tori into?
No,
None.
Tori actually just watched... Tori just watched Ted Lasso without me. I was like, so you're watching sport even
sport?
without me?
Yeah, okay.
No, Tori's a pediatric doctor. She has quite a serious job, and I come home and I'm like, Constance, yes or no? What do we think? I moved down here for love, and to meet people, I decided to make friends. I decided to play another season of grade cricket, so I joined St Kilda.
Oh, beautiful.
Played a season, injured my knee halfway through, and it was a very ignominious end to my cricket career. And I wanted to I just always felt like grade cricket was a very strange ecosystem of men. And enjoyable. Made a lot of friends through it, but it's this weird marriage of people trying to achieve dreams since they had since kids, but those dreams had died 10 years earlier and they didn't realise, right? So I wrote an article for a friend's blog just for fun called "How to Make It in Grade Cricket," an instructional guide, and basically it was every single element of going through the grades that didn't involve scoring runs or taking wickets.
Right.
So it's like what you wear, how you address people, how you talk down to people, how you manage yourself in the gym, things like this. And it was published, and this was 2011 or something like that. And I wasn't even really on social media at the time. It was so nascent, but it just went viral. And there was a lot of encouragement in the comments underneath, and one comment was from Gideon Haigh, who's a cricket writer that we both admired greatly, and the other one was from Justin Langer, and it said "Great work, Sam. Can't wait for the season to begin." So I was really encouraged by it, and so started this anonymous account on Twitter called The Grade Cricketer.
What was your first tweet?
Oh, it was something about this has been written. I can't quite remember now, but it was something about the best way to go up the grades is to take a 6-month-old ball from the freezer and bowl off 18 yards in fading light. I mean, it was only 140 characters, so I probably condensed it better than that. So it was something like that, and that was the tone of the account. It's just all of these insights into what is actually happening at the club level that you don't really pick up in establishment presentation of the game on TV, and it just resonated with people. So I did it for about a year solo, and then
did it grow quickly?
Yeah, it did. It had a take off. It went to 10,000 followers overnight at one point. I don't know how that stuff happened really.
Yep.
So that was exciting, but I kept it anonymous because I was working at Telstra, and also who is Sam Perry? No one, no one. I don't think I knew that no one would want to know who this person was anyway. And then after a little while, I invited a few friends to contribute to the content. Higgos and Dave, formerly of the group, jumped on. I hadn't met Higgos, so knew Higgos through Dave. And to skip forward, their content was amazing as well. It kept growing, and to the point where we have 50, 60,000 followers after a few years. We hadn't released our identities yet, and we decided to explore the character beyond 140 letters you could use on Twitter through a book. So
The Grade Cricketer.
The Grade Cricketer, our first book, and we pitched it to literally 30 publishers, and it was the very, very last publisher that said, "Yeah, we'll give you a go."
And who were the good people that gave you a go?
Melbourne Books.
Okay,
shout out Melbourne
to
Books.
Melbourne
David
Books.
Tenenbaum, Melbourne Books, took a punt on us. I'm probably skipping ahead, but yeah.
And so you guys wrote that book together?
Yeah,
as a trio.
That's right. Yeah. I think
Three
I
of you.
can't remember when I came on board. It might have been about a year or two after that. But I was still playing in Sydney. So I was living in Sydney at the time. I only moved down to Melbourne 5 years ago.
Okay.
Also for love, being Pezza.
That's nice.
So Tori's not aware of that.
That's right, she's not listening, so she's
Yeah,
not
that's right. Oh, there's a lot of stuff she hasn't listened to.
Yeah, so I jumped on board maybe a year or two after, but I was still playing, and which was uncomfortable as well because, no one knew who we were until we released the book, but I was still playing. I remember I think my eyes went at some point where I couldn't see the ball anymore, and I was also scared of the ball anyway. So I remember one game was against Sydney Uni, and I dropped a guy on zero, and he made 140, and it was one of the most powerful 140s. He just couldn't stop hitting sixes. I dropped 2 catches actually that day, and I also got a duck. And then
That's one of those days we were talking about before.
Yeah.
When you should have been at the beach.
It's a normal
It
day.
was a normal Saturday for me. And then Sydney Uni, and now I play for Gordon. And the dressing rooms were like facing each other. Walked off the field. We've just written the first book, and it was going quite well at the time, I think. And one of my teammates came up to me. I was sitting in between the 2 dressing rooms, and both doors were open, so everyone could see. And he came up and he gave me a book and he said, "Can you sign the book?" And I just dropped 2 catches. The guy scored 140. I'd made a globe.
1-0 he goes.
So I win.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
when we wrote that book,
Yeah.
3 of us went to the boys came down to Melbourne. That's when I first met Higos, like face to face, I guess. And we decided that the way we would write the book as a trio was to we just got a case of beer. We went down to Melbourne Uni. I think second grade was playing at the first grade ground. We sat on a hill and watched a whole day's play of second grade cricket and basically started picking out players and ascribing characters to them. He'll be Nugsy. And you could see the way that they behaved. And so many cricketers just conform to the same archetypes.
Every club's the same.
Within the club.
Within the club.
Structure.
But then you realise when you watch, the test documentary of the Aussie team, they're a club team just with heaps of staff and great kit.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the same thing. So we just sat there and went, this is this guy, and we just talked about the things that we wanted to write about in detail when it came to cricket. So we plotted this story out, we divided it up, we would set deadlines, we would write several thousand words each week, meet on Skype, go through it, and edit each other's work, and it came together really nicely, and we released our identities. I think it disappointed a lot of people because it was is this Kerry O'Keefe? Is this guy?
Because people wanted it to be a professional player.
Yeah,
Yes.
someone
I
they
think
knew.
because when Pezza started it, a lot of pros had picked it up because this was early Twitter.
Yeah.
Before it was X. This is 2011, so I think
Yeah.
Twitter's only maybe a year or two old at this point. So and a lot of the pro players had picked up this character, so they were thinking it's got to be someone within the professional realm.
Yeah.
So for it to be a couple of clubbies is just flatly disappointing, right?
But that's
no
the
profile.
most authentic result though. It's just clubbies you've never heard of.
Yeah.
I think the point you make is when anyone asks me what are the cricketers like, that's the exact description I give them, exactly what you just said, Pez. If you're lucky enough to be in the change rooms, I was in the change rooms after they won the World Cup in India, still one of the greatest sporting performances I've
It
ever
is,
seen.
and underrated in this country.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. And that was my main takeaway, that they're no different to my team I play with at Barwon Heads. They still sit around and take the piss out of each other. They have a quiet beer. They give each other stick. They're supportive of encouraging each other. They love the game. They're just so much better at it than we are.
Just genetic freaks.
Yeah, but they are.
Yeah.
But they're no
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
to the three of us.
That's right.
They love the game and they love playing with their mates. They just get to do it and get paid for it and travel the world to do it, which I think is something really cool about it.
Absolutely, and we're really like you, we're really grateful to have this gig. Very conscious of how fragile it can be to work in media, and entertainment properties don't tend to last very long anyway. So our goal with our business is always about sustainability. How can we keep doing this because we love doing it? But one thing that's occurred to us through it all is, as you were saying, players like to come on our show because they feel a familiarity with the, and I think they want to show people that they too played grade cricket and they have that deeper love of the game and they relate to it in the way we do. It's just that they have great forearms and shoulders, and wonderful talents.
So in all the guests you've had, this is not saying these are your favourite guests, but which guest has been the most popular on your podcast / YouTube channel?
Stoinis has always been he's always been very giving. He's always been very giving, Stoin. We probably mesh quite well with him, but he's also so silly and it sort of translates quite well over that forum. So he's been good.
Zampa's kind of the same.
Zampa's the same,
Zampa.
yeah. You know what, but then once you go to the greats of the game, like Punter, for instance, Ricky Ponting is just, he could say anything and people just lap it up.
He gets massive cuts through, Ricky.
Yeah,
Oh, huge.
And he's
Yeah,
also
yeah,
quite funny.
Yes.
If you just give him the avenue, he can be very funny. So, it is a bit like the higher the profile, the more people love that because they're so well known, I think. But yeah, in terms of who have we meshed with? Cummins has been good with us, Actually, this current team has been really good, but I think it's when they were wrestling with the sort of the older generation, when JL, that whole thing fell apart, right? I think we sort of sided with the players because I think we sympathise with that. We're also about the same age. Well, actually, we're not the same age anymore. We're actually older than them now, except for Usman. But so I think they recognised that we were probably helping their public perception, So I think they were very giving to us, which helps when the current team are nice to you. That is nice.
We've been lucky. We maybe away from the club cricket perspective, we had the opportunity once to speak to Michael Holding, just when he'd released his book, How We Kneel, Why We Rise, I'm sorry if I got that the wrong way around.
What a great man.
It was really special to have an audience with him. And we weren't talking about, club cricket.
No,
we were talking about more serious matters. But yeah, the gig has, this job has sometimes put us in arenas that are almost the opposite of a club cricket situation, but we're really grateful for. And so that interview went really well too. It probably allowed us to stretch our legs a little bit from maybe more of an interview or communications perspective, or show a little bit of range beyond the character, which is sometimes nice to do as well. Because pushing 40 now and just putting everything through the grade cricket prism it can get. I think it can get exhausting for other people as well. So it's nice to give a bit of light and shade to what you do.
So how far in and how big a call was it when you two sat down and said, righto, this is our full-time gig? Because, I don't know if this is before you had a young family or there's pressures as you leave cricket and you enter the real world where it's like, okay, what am I going to do and how am I going to provide?
That's a really good question. And I know it's a question that a lot of people face when they're thinking about jumping out on their own in an enterprising way, with
especially creatively.
Yeah, with all the risks that come with it. I think a couple of things to say about it, right? Firstly, I think Hugo's and I have always had a very quiet but solid belief in the quality of our work, and we've proven to each other our ongoing commitment to doing the hard yards and persisting with this thing to do whatever it takes. So we've always had that that belief in ourselves to that we could make this work. However, I know in my situation, I've been lucky. It's one thing to say, you've just got to believe in yourself and you can do it. I mean, my wife has a great job, right? I could probably afford to have taken a risk. Some people don't have that, right?
Good point.
I think I would have anyway, but I've had that backing. We have had each other. We haven't gone out on our own and just woken up having to hunt for our dinner by ourselves. So we've been able to have that support together. And I do think in terms of our journey specifically, it has been gradual. We did do it for quite a lot. We did test this concept, I suppose, without realizing we were doing it for quite a long time with jobs, and learned that there was a lot of interest in it, or at least a material enough interest in it to keep it going. And so,
it's still a step, though, to say go into work on a Friday and say,
totally.
I'm done. I'm done. Oh, what are you doing? I'm doing my podcast with my mate. You're a lawyer.
Especially you're telling your parents about it.
Well,
I remember for me, just was how the timeline worked out for me. I mentioned before, I was working full-time, I was studying full-time, and then I graduated, and I did my practical legal training, then I had a grad job, and it was literally at that point where I was like, nah, I'm going to do this. Like for me in my life, I wanted to work in comedy probably since I was about 12 or 13 or something like that. I didn't think talking about grade cricket would be the avenue to get into, being creative and making jokes and all this sort of stuff. But I just believed in it so much. And yeah, Pez makes the point, the Twitter account started, and it sort of, it was 2011 viral, it wasn't quite viral like TikTok is now, but it was that. Then we wrote the book and it was a bestseller. It went really well. Then we started doing a podcast and that went well. There was a few steps where we were being rewarded, I suppose, for everything we did. So I was getting, we're getting validation, I suppose, consumer confidence, that this thing was going to take. But I joked about the hex thing. It's I just racked up 6 years of study, and it was and then to get to pay that off, the law job would have been nice at the start.
Yeah,
we have. There probably has been some blind confidence too, looking back. I mean, COVID, for example, was one where we just started with an agent, for example, and the agent said, "You guys should expect to make $0 for the next 18 months." And we were like, oh, wow, that's not a lot of money. For our lives.
That's not a lot.
Here's 20% of nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
what's your
thinking.
cut? You still get some out of that? But we were so dedicated to it. I think we do. We are fortunate to have a commitment to it that has where the passion, I think, runs a little a little deeper than like the commercial, whatever commercial outcomes we get out of it, and so that's always sustained us as well. So
I think I'd like to talk to you because you would have so many people come up to you and say, "I want to start a podcast. I want to start a YouTube channel." etc. And I think what you said there, Pez, if anyone asks me, I'm like, well, if you want to make any money out of podcasting, don't do it, because that's the starting point. Because that's the reality is, I don't know. If you look on your podcast platform, I would say 98% of podcasts don't make any money. Probably 1% make okay money and 1% make really good money. So it's not, but there's a 1% that do make really good money. So if you're listening, that can be you. So it briefly, like minute answers each. We'll start with you, Higo. What would you say is the key to success in podcasting?
Well, it's a labour of love. I even see former athletes or celebrities starting podcasts, and I can tell that won't exist in 3 months. You know, because like you expect to get the rewards straight away, you just don't. Like there were so many times when we started editing, promoting, agenda setting, just being across the news. Like if you have a full-time job, these are hard things to do. Booking guests, unless you really believe in it, you know, like unless you really want to do this, it's going to fall over. It's a labor of love. And also starting a podcast now is so much harder than it was in 2016.
Because of the amount of podcasts
Exactly
out there.
right.
Yeah, the depth in the market.
And also I think it's pivoting as well between like bigger brands are like starting podcasts now, like radio stations are starting podcasts now, right? I mean, we're on one right now.
Yeah.
Like it's you know, so that you're competing against a sales team, which is harder as well.
So why in 30 seconds Pez has the Grade Cricketer podcast been successful in your eyes?
We know our subject matter like at a soul level really well. Like when we went to training on Tuesday and Thursday, we didn't realise that was our university for this show.
Yes.
So we have like undeniable credibility for the thing we're talking about, one. And then two, there is a robustness to our business that is underpinned by persistence. Like any property we start, we finish. Like if we say we're doing something weekly, it comes out rain, hail or shine weekly. We will never be one of those podcast people who are like, I'll do it when it suits me, and it just drifts away. Like we went through like local radio and we mucked around with things when we were younger. We didn't know each other. We know the power of like sticking with something, and so your audience knows that they can trust you, you know, every single week. And I know that was more than 30 seconds.
No, not at all. It's amazing how many themes when you say them that it just ticks off in my mind. I'm very lucky to work on this show with Tommy, who you met, who's sort of early 30s. Das, our editor, is early 30s. MJ, who has been with this show from the start, he's mid 30s. Actually, a question aside, I was talking to MJ 2 days ago with Tommy. I want your opinion on this. So MJ's married, right? He went for his birthday in Hobart on the weekend, and he said, Laura, his beautiful wife, said, I was really good, Laura shouted. And I was like, hang on, what do you mean? It's your wife. He's got separate bank accounts, been married for 2 years. Would you be concerned about his wedding and marriage moving forward, or I just run a joint bank account with my wife?
Yeah.
Am I the unusual one, or is MJ the unusual one?
I do what you do.
Right.
I'd like to know what he's doing on the weekend. I might catch up with him.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Is it a backup?
It opens up options.
Well, and that's what I said to him. You don't sound completely committed. What I was saying, though, I work with these guys that are younger than me that have a great understanding of technology, which keeps me involved. We put the Howie Games out on YouTube. I don't think we have had anywhere near the success on YouTube as we've had with the podcast. You guys have tremendous success on YouTube. What do you learn about YouTube?
Well... We wanted to do YouTube for quite a while, but it was a bit impossible until I moved down to Melbourne. So we're in the same room when we were together.
Which you need to be, don't you?
Yeah,
very big on being the same room.
Yeah, absolutely.
It helps a lot. There's technology now. I think when we started podcasting, Skype was there was no Zoom. Zoom didn't exist as far as I'm aware, and then Skype really fell
We used to
off.
actually I remember we were interviewing James Sutherland once, the then CEO of Cricket Australia. I was in London living there with Tori, and you guys were in Sydney, and like actually had, while we're interviewing him, our Skype money was running low. I was manually topping up a Skype account so that we could keep this interview going with James Sutherland, where we're asking
you're
him
feeding
things
the
like,
meter, basically.
Yeah, we were feeding the meter like a parking meter, and like asking him like, do you get champed by the BCCI? You know, like that was our life at the time. But they're the sorts of like, you look back and you're like, you know, we were doing a lot of flying hours like in tough technological and technical situations back then. It's all.
I remember during the 2019 World Cup, my apartment at the time in Sydney was next to a Woolies, and like the loading dock was like next to my window, basically. So like, I think Australia had just been knocked out of the World Cup by England, maybe. Yeah. And it was like maybe 6 or 5 in the morning or something. And Pez was in Melbourne.
I was in a car with a. Yeah. I was in my car because my son had just been born, so he's a newborn. I couldn't wake him up, sleeping badly. So I was in a car with a doona over me for soundproofing.
Yeah, so
I've done the doona.
And a Yeti
I've done the doona.
I had the same thing. There was like a beep, beep. I've got the morning delivery, and I was over a duvet. Yeah, just talking about Joss Butler's amazing 30.
Yeah, that's right. But the people must hear us.
They simply must hear our
perspective.
But YouTube has cut through for you guys.
Anyway, so back to that. Yeah, well, it's consumption habits, right? So our experience has been that Indians, for instance, they don't typically listen through Spotify or Apple or Google Play or something. They don't. They
watch.
They watch. They want to watch. On Facebook, for instance, we have a large Pakistani following for some reason on Facebook, but then Indian and English on Instagram and Twitter, so like, but I suppose like we have changed a little bit from doing like just one podcast a week of like let's say an hour and a half length to doing like 20-minute daily reviews or like more bite-sized stuff because unless you're Rogan, and everyone thinks that they're going to be Rogan when you start podcasting, right? Like, so if you do a 3-hour show, people are going to listen to that in the millions, right? Now, like, my personal, it's anecdotal, but my personal experience of using YouTube, if I look at a video and it's got a great thumbnail and stuff, but I see the timestamp is like 3 hours, 3 minutes, there's no way I'm clicking on that.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have to change it a little bit. So we started doing like little snippets of our podcast, putting that up. What really helped us on to, because
there's always a moment where something really resonates.
Yeah,
what was it for you guys?
It was when India won in 2021. In 2021, Rishabh Pant, India chased 300 and whatever at the Gabba. And they won that series. That was a big moment. Then we had jumped on basically straight away, and then we just turned ourselves into.
That was COVID.
That was COVID.
Because I called that here in South Melbourne.
Yeah, right.
Sitting next to Warney for the closing stages with Mark Waugh and others at the Gabba.
Yep.
Right.
Having to look at monitors so you didn't speak across each other.
Okay.
So that was off the back of COVID. So that you put that out, and
we put that out, and then it
popped.
It blew up. Yeah, that was it. Got I think it's up to like 1.5 million views or something. And that stage, we'd only just started YouTube. I think we might have had like 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers, but over the course of the next 12 months, I think we got to 100,000 pretty quickly. But I mean, a lot of that, because on the back of that, then India beat England in India in a test series. We covered that. We started doing the IPL. So like we sort of moved towards covering Indian cricket as well, which we did think, if you're going to talk about cricket, you can't not talk about India in just what's happening with the game. Like, India control the game now. You can't cover cricket here as a full-time job and just do the Australian summer, because it basically lasts about 6 weeks.
So let's talk about India.
Yeah.
And you've done some live shows there. You've had a running with the BCCI, which we need to discuss.
Yeah, we can.
Which we will discuss.
Is this geo-blocked?
Well, so for someone that's been lucky enough to work on the IPL a couple of times, I love the BCCI. You do fantastic.
I bet you do.
You are the kings. Okay, so let's just get that on the table before we get to you blokes who I had nothing to do with.
That's right. Yeah. Howard distances himself from internet garage guys
whilst throwing rupees at them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. People that listen to the show frequently, and I've done it a couple of times on air, where when the guest comes in, as you guys just heard the spiel that has been done however many hundreds of times. If I ask you anything that you don't like, let me know. We cut it out. We're not about a clickbait. We don't want to put you on the front of the paper. And then you guys relate a brief story to me about dealing with Indian cricketers, and maybe you get a bit of advice externally. How does that work? I've never had an Indian cricketer on the Howie Games. So firstly, how have you gone about getting Indian players on your podcast?
Because
it's not just text Rishabh Pant and say, hey,
no, it is not.
Part man, can you come on?
Unless you're Gilly, basically.
Yeah, that's right. Unless you're Gilly.
He's a Rishabh, Rohit. Yeah.
There's so many sentences that finish with, unless you're Gilly.
Yeah, that's right.
That is one of them.
Yeah.
We are really proud of the the work we do into India. Like, as Higo said, as our business was building, a lot of people said, if you if you make it in India, you won't work a day in your life.
You'll never work
and that
again,
has never like been true. But it was always this big star that we observed. Like a lot of people in like they call it the Anglo sphere of cricket, Australia, England, etc. I don't feel. I know you do. You go to the IPL and commentate, right? But a lot of people don't engage with Indian cricket and Indian life and society, and the history of India. The way that they should, for the amount of opinions we have about what's going on in India. So we were like, let's go and engage. Like let's meet people. Let's do what I said before. Like let's take on the IPL. Let's take on the Test cricket. Let's cover it for Indians and like give them a perspective. And so we started doing that in 2021 after the Gabba. It was resonating really highly with a lot of Indian fans. I think a lot of them were very excited that it felt like finally India was going to dominate every single thing in cricket. They'd breached the Gabba fortress. And we were saying, this is the Asian century. And they're like, no, it's the Indian century. Like, it's just a joke. Don't worry. But and so it was our first, so to answer your question, it was our first, we started to take on the IPL. We didn't know much about it. It was just this thing that happened at night. We knew it was big and whatever. So we started covering it. We got a sponsor fairly quickly. Like it was an insurance company called ACO. They wrote to us.
Indian
company.
Right.
That we did a deal with them directly. That's the other thing. That's the other side of our whole business as well. Is like we've only recently got some commercial help. It's all just been us. We did a deal with them. It was a good deal. Like for us, we're like, this is great. Like getting paid to cover Indian cricket, and they also had they were sponsoring like different elements of the IPL. So they had a sponsorship with KKR, with Delhi, with later on LSG that came in. And so to answer your question, any interview we've had with an Indian player has essentially been brokered through a sponsor that mutually sponsors that team or that player.
Clever.
As well as TGC. So I don't, otherwise when we've inquired about like independently interviewing Indian cricketers, it's like the word is honorarium. Will you pay an honorarium? And that honorarium is typically an amount of money that like that's it. Yeah.
But it might be heaps.
Yeah.
But you think that to them it's nothing because they are making so much money.
Absolutely.
It's an amount of money that you could not possibly recoup for one video.
Yeah.
No,
that's right.
It's obscene.
And on top of that, with our experience of interviewing Indian cricketers, like firstly the players, the people themselves are great and funny, and they are people who have they've played club cricket in England. They know the brutality and the torture and the tragicomedy and failure of cricket, which means everyone has a kind of a stoic humour about the game. The difference when you're interviewing an Indian cricketer is that regularly there'd be about 6 other people on the call monitoring it for anything that might compromise a reputation. And
anything that might be remotely interesting.
Yeah, that's right.
Much,
or demonstrate their personality or some kind of fallibility.
Yeah.
And so we've had some great interviews with Indian cricketers that were most of which have been cut. But
which is heartbreaking.
It is a little bit, yeah.
It is a bit.
But it comes with the territory.
Yeah, you sort of, when you're feeling like you're more of a guest in their sphere, you are the attitude we take is how do we, how do we finesse ourselves to make sure that we can be a part of the Indian cricket conversation that is both respectful of how they do it, but also honest to us and authentic to us. And that's sometimes there's a tension with that sometimes, but we still, we regularly just say to ourselves we played third grade. And now we're talking to Shubman Gill, or we're at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. This is pretty cool. If sometimes you have to be flexible with things, and you have to be robust because we do push and we get. And there's a lot of pushback in India. But
I love the work we've done with Indians, and I think you're right. I think the average Anglo cricket fan has no idea. They just use words like passion and it must be good in India, but you don't have an understanding to it. You guys have obviously gone. I think last summer, Morley, the media manager, he was fantastic to deal with, and we'd have a chat with him each day, and he started providing his players. So, being the man on the ground, you're getting to chat with Jasprit Bumrah or KL Rahul or Rishabh Pant. And on TV, in the Fox preview, they're long interviews. They're 7 minutes. Chats with Jasprit Bumrah. But to me, in this role, I just sit here and think, imagine an hour and a half with Jasprit Bumrah, about his backyard growing up and his cricket stories. It's
I personally think that who gets underserved the most is the Indian cricket fans because
they do.
They sense that their players are just as cheeky and
It's a good point,
and funny and engaging as every other person. You know what? Because they're just people as well. It's so obvious, but they're so famous and there's so much at stake for them if they say something slightly controversial.
Yes.
There's also a culture of revering your elders and idolizing greats of the game. And so if a player here criticised Ponting or Gilchrist, then it's not as big a deal as if Shubman Gill criticised Sonny Gavaskar. You just wouldn't do it. So it's a different culture which you have to understand. But fundamentally, when we talk to them, all we're trying to do is make them laugh, and they'll make us laugh, and they often do, but they won't make it because it's seen as it's a bit too risky.
Yeah.
It's not.
But they slide into the DMs.
They slide in the DMs. Don't worry about
we
that,
had a scenario a few years ago. You mentioned Jasprit, where it reveals our own ignorance. But we had the fortune of going to India versus Pakistan, and I don't think they might have saying this, but we're at the MCG, and a really famous humorist and actor in India that we become friends with, Danish Seth. He's Mr. Nags for RCB. We were chatting with him in the press box, and he introduced us to I can't remember who the other person was. No, it was Zainab Abbas from Pakistan.
Oh, yeah, the presenter.
And her friend,
Yep,
yes,
yep,
and
yep.
and Sanjana Ganesan, who was one Pakistani presenter, one Indian presenter. They're great friends, and they're working for the ICC. Introduces them to us, and Sanjana says, we're meeting Sanjana for the first time. Hi, Sanjana, and she goes, I know your voices. They're in our house it's in our house all the time. My husband and I love listening to you. And I just not to be arrogant about it, but thanks very much. That says, just another fan. That's great. Thanks very much. And Danish goes you don't know who her husband is, do you? And I was like, no. He's like, her husband's Jasprit Bumrah. And I was like,
that's
I was
so good.
Result.
Who's that?
So we know they like it, and as Higo says, they have the same irreverence as other players, but they're
cricketers.
much more tightly controlled.
They're cricketers
because of
So Kohli's actually quite funny, and the Aussie players really like him. But how we see him on the field is, he's abrasive and aggressive, and he's obviously a winner. At the same time, if he was Australian, he'd be the Prime Minister.
Yes.
We'd love him.
Yes, we would.
But people, I don't think, would know that he is very popular amongst the players. I mean, he's reached a level of celebrity which is just I think he doesn't even live in India anymore. I think
No,
he's
he's in the UK now,
he's
isn't
London,
he?
I think. Yeah.
So you've done live shows. You've done live shows in New York. You've done shows in the UK. But you've done, how many shows do you do in India?
Well, we've toured India 3 times now.
Right,
so
3 times,
so this last time we did 2. 2 were cancelled because the conflicts broke out. But yeah, the first time we went there, we played 1 show in Bengaluru. The second time we went there, we did 7 cities, which was cool.
And who's your audience? Is it expats or Indians or a combination of both?
It's Indians, yeah. We have an agent in India now. Shout out Shiv Burman Sports, great
You've got
guy.
an agent in India.
Yeah, well, because we can't do business into India. It is the way business works is different, right?
Very much so.
Shiv's great. Shiv and his team are great, but I don't know if I should put words in his mouth, but India is obviously 1.4 billion, give or take. And then the way he explains it to us is 90% of them will speak Hindi. So they're out for you, really, unless you use AI or whatever. But we're not doing that yet. He's like, there is still a portion of people who are same global and local. They're Western facing. They love they're tertiary educated. They love stand up comedy. They consume lots of stuff from America and the UK, etc. That'd be about 1% of the population. That's a bigger population than your addressable market in Australia. So
it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Our shows. Yeah, our last few shows in India, we played to 800 in Bangalore and 800 in Mumbai.
And when you walk on the stage. 2 grade cricketers from Sydney into Bengaluru, into the biggest cricket market in the world. There must be moments where it's a literal pinch yourself.
Totally.
How has this happened? And congratulations to the fact that it has happened, because you've explained the hard work that's gone on to it. But that's extraordinary, really.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, I think the live shows, what they are, they're much more like stand-up comedy than they are like a sit-down comedy, like a live recording of a podcast. We do it's rehearsed. We do bits and it's written. So, but yeah, doing when we were in New York because we were there for the World Cup, which was in America and the Caribbean.
Yep.
Was that last year?
Yeah,
last
year. And so. we've got all our metrics through social media. We've got a bit of a following in America, and then we organised Ravi Shastri to be the guest there. But that for me to do a show literally on Broadway,
not even off.
Even off. It was on. Yeah, and so to walk out after doing that show, and then Times Square is like half a block away. That was insane. Because cricket doesn't belong in America. There's no need for it to be there.
A lot of people think differently today, but
One more question on the business component till we start talking cricket and our favourites and go down that path. Patreon. Explain to people what it is and does it work for you?
Okay. Patreon is a subscriber platform, so it permits people to pay you money. That gets distributed to you monthly. You can set the price, $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever.
Yep.
And you have the option of, providing them content in return.
So do you guys do that? Do you provide content that is behind the paywall, so to speak?
In 2020, it was COVID that brought it on. We decided to start a Patreon account, and the model we set for it was you pay us $5 a month US, and we'll give you a bonus 45 to 1 minute to 1 hour podcast every week. So four extra hours of content. If you want to get deeper into TGC, and let's face it, the stuff we put behind there is looser, it's darker, it's more raw.
Looser than the real stuff.
Yeah.
The real stuff gets reasonably loose.
Concerningly loose.
Right.
Yeah, problematically.
So if you're real
loose,
cricket sickos out there.
I mean, it stops talking about cricket at some point, and it's everything else.
Right.
But
and has it been a financial success
it's the
for you?
lifeblood of our business.
Okay, so that underpins the free content per se.
Yeah. What it does is it's a good portion of our revenues. It's not. We've never wanted any one stream of revenue to become the thing that we rely on. We always try and diversify it, because we know that media can be fragile, and some people can pull the rug from under you really quickly, or people can get over you, or you get cancelled for saying really loose stuff, which may happen. But with Patreon, what's great about it is that instead of having one, marketing manager with a campaign sponsoring you who decides, no, this is over and you don't have that money anymore, we have 3,500 subscribers who pay $5 or $10 US a month. If someone doesn't like what you're doing, or their financial circumstances change, you lose one person.
Yep.
But it's a pretty much a plannable amount of money every month, which the compound effect is it allows us to say no to other things. It doesn't allow us to chase. Doesn't mean we have to chase a lot of money from different places. So it's really helpful.
It's also meant that we can pursue things as an investment, like work as an investment, which might be you don't get paid for those things. There's so many times where we speculate that something might be good to do, which has you don't get paid for it. But it's
well, we're doing that right now.
We're doing it right now.
The England-India series, we don't have a sponsor for that at the moment, but our English audience is really important to us, so we are putting a lot into that, and we do that knowing that we still have a foundation of money that we can count on every month. We're an independent venture. We've got no investment or seed funding or anyone backing us. We bootstrap all of our the operation. So Patreon has been really helpful in terms of having fans who are diehards for you as well. They're the people that will get the first access to our live show tickets, or if we do merch, they'll get first access to it. They back us so much, and it's so meaningful to us that the most important bosses financially for us are our fans. So I couldn't speak more highly of Patreon. Yeah.
So I feel like we're just sort of doing this conversation and I'm blatantly going to rip off your business model. Tommy's making notes on Patreon. He's making notes on YouTube.
No, it's actually terrible, Howie.
One further question to you, because again, you have so many people ask these questions, as do I. The importance of social media, is it a big driver of your business? And again, like YouTube, what have you found works? And get the pen out again here, Tommy.
It's. Tell you what happens is the older you get, the more younger people become better at it.
Out of touch.
You got to get young people on this.
Totally, we're totally there.
Even the trends of a follow now, I think is harder to get. If you like someone on Instagram, right? Someone keeps popping up on your For You page on Instagram. It might take you 8, 9, 10, 12 clips of them popping up for you to actually get a follow. Whereas I feel like 10 years ago, you could probably be a bit more fluid in like who you're shooting a follow to. But like the follower number appears to be really important when you're actually trying to sell advertising to people.
Massively it is, yeah.
So our numbers for our show are good, you know, like they compete with even the greats of the game like Howie here, you know. So, but the follower numbers appears to be more important. So social media, it's almost getting harder to gain more followers, I feel like, also because there's so much out there now. But also, like, the older that we get, the further we become away from like the trends of what young people are doing.
Yeah. I reckon if you'd asked that question like 5-6 years ago, I would have felt confident giving you some kind of insight as to what works for us. But I don't think I know anymore. We do, like, he goes, didn't say this before when he was talking about YouTube. He's been particularly instrumental in ensuring we have really good equipment to film ourselves with. Like, I think young people don't really accept like a lot of lo-fi stuff anymore.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, like we look at a lot of guys coming through now on social media doing like sketches, highly edited, like finely attuned, very, very funny, and you know, so I don't think I know what works on social. To be honest,
we have TikTok, but we've never really engaged with it. And like you can see how many young people blow up on that platform.
Yeah.
But like, you know, we're not doing sketches. You know, we've got the show, we've got that, so it's not really suitable for it.
When you get those DMs on Insta that say, "Get in touch. We can do things for you. Give us $100 and we'll get an extra 10,000 followers." Have you ever thought maybe a little bit of the Patreon money could be directed into that area?
No, we used to reply to those people for our own entertainment, just to see where it took us, because they're all scams. In fact, when the BCCI wrote a legal letter to us, I thought it was one of those ones.
So what happened? What happened?
One of those.
What happened with the BCCI? And again, this is
no. Mark Howard is distanced from what I'm about to say.
I'm almost going to go out of the room, to be honest.
It's your idea, Howard.
Yeah. So Howie said, like, use
no.
Howie said, why don't you guys try? No. So we've been we've been covering the IPL with
and doing a great
about
job of it.
3 to 5 match reviews per week over, you know, what used to be 2, now 3 months of the IPL.
That's a lot of content.
It is a lot.
Especially the time zones.
Totally, yeah. And we watch every ball. And
Sure
thank God for a KO Mini. But anyway, we have a good production. We have our producer editor Charlie. The way we actually do the show is like we're recording it as though it were live, and he's sliding like images and tweets up as we go. We've preloaded them on.
Images or vision?
Never vision.
Just images.
Never.
So photos.
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 And photos would be like it's like you're talking like a command 4 screenshot on your
from
Mac
Twitter.
From Twitter.
Yeah. Okay.
Of a player.
Just a shot of Virat Kohli playing cover drive.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
like stuff you see,
So
stuff that's like
Yeah.
littered around.
We'd never use
all
footage.
these articles and
Yeah.
everything. Never ever use Match Vision. We understand how those rights work, and it was a couple of weeks ago, I guess. It was 2 days before we were leaving for India for our live show. So I was fixing an orange juice for my 7-year-old son's birthday party for the kids. Yeah, just saw these emails come in, and once I realised that they weren't people soliciting our details for followers, it was a joint legal letter from the IPL and the BCCI, and it was very like bespoke and detailed to the grade cricketer, with 80 hyperlinks of when we had transgressed and commercialised property that IP that they owned, and that property that they were specifically focused on was match imagery. So there's no suggestion of footage,
Photos.
and so it was both match imagery and it went on to say that we are not permitted to commercialise any element of their IP, which includes the use of names, the IPL or BCCI, and
like team
names.
Yeah.
You can't say, you can't use the words Chennai Super Kings or their abbreviations. We own that too.
Can't use the names.
Or say the name of the tournament.
Or say the name of the tournament, right?
So it's the big tournament in India, and the
Also,
team.
we made we're like,
Of course
we've got
you
to turn lemon into lemonade here. Firstly, we had some back channels into the IPL and understood that this was about imagery, and they're like, you can use the names, boys, it's fine, but you can't use the imagery.
Okay.
And we still had our like misgivings with it, insofar as like this is this is unfair because there's 1,000 accounts with more people than us who use it, but you're just, why you want us? But anyway, that doesn't matter. But from then on, what we did was, we started to change our name. The name of our show was called like the Big IPL Breakfast. Like it was a bit of a play on like a silly breakfast show. So we started calling it like the big cricket tournament in India morning meal, and like then the next day Vaibhav Suryavanshi, who's 14, had hit 100.
Yes.
And so in talking about it, what I did was I got my 7-year-old to draw a stick figure of Vaibhav Suryavanshi. So we can't show you an image, but this is what my son Ted thought of it. And so we put up a stick figure of that, and that blew up online. Yeah. And then it prompted articles in the press about it, and we understood that the IPL and the BCCI weren't happy about those things, but then the other day at the World Test Championship final, we were in some hospitality after the game with people from, across the game of cricket, let's say, and two BCCI guys walked in and they pointed at us and said, "Sorry, boys," and everybody had a big laugh. And we had a laugh with the tears coming down our eyes, but it gave us great fodder for our live shows as well.
Yes, it would.
Yeah. We made it work for us.
Yeah,
we made it work for us
now.
For now. But
Cricket. Okay, let's do some lists. Okay, let's do some lists because we need to talk some cricket. Let's talk about our 5 favourite Australian cricketers of all time. So throw some numbers up, but we'll say some names, but
I got like
Spencer Johnson.
Yeah.
So, I'll start writing names down, but we can only end up with 5.
Paul Nobes.
Paul Nobes.
Right.
I'll put that in there.
Listen. Shane Warne was my hero, and will always be my hero. He's the greatest cricketer I've ever seen, and so he must adorn the top of any list.
So our top 5 Aussie cricketers we've seen. Warnie, he's a lock, yeah?
He's a lock.
We'll put a tick next to him.
Yeah.
Righto.
So Ponting was my hero.
Yeah.
Okay.
Junior for me, like batting.
Ponting. So Ricky's a lock. That's 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What's a specific question here? Because these are important. No, these are important
just
lists.
Favourite? Just
favourite, like
favourite.
people who made you feel.
Yeah, no, just favourite.
Yeah, not just who you think's the best.
No,
just
your favourite.
Look, I don't know if you're happy to negotiate on Mark Waugh, but like Junior for me was the style.
M.E. Waugh
and the catching.
My only problem is like I want Tugger in there as well. So we don't want 2 Wars in there. I feel like there's more to give here in this list. If I go Steve Waugh as well, then.
Who would be the 5th then?
Well. If we're doing this as a
are you
threesome,
involved in this as well?
I'd like to.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Howie.
Sorry.
How selfish of us.
The name of the podcast.
Right.
I've only got one. I've got one that for me is a non-negotiable.
Okay, yeah.
Alan Robert Border. He just has to be in there. He has to be in there.
Totally agree.
Grandfather.
So at this stage,
my dad played cricket with and against him growing up as well.
Did he?
Junior, yeah. And then one day, Border got out in like '93. It was just his final season, and I think he was very the team wasn't going well. I was only 8 years old, and I was calling out to Dad as he was walking off at the SCG, saying, "Dad, you know AB. Dad, you know." He's like, "Quiet, son.
Shut up, son."
Yeah.
So we've got
sure.
Warnie, Punter, and AB as a lock.
Yeah.
There's a discussion about
All right,
Waugh because you're thinking about throwing.
Let's shortlist it. Well, let's get a few names out there
because I never saw him play, but
see,
Benno's
the icon, iconography.
So I'll put Richie Benno off to the side here.
Like if you see like old footage and Richie's in the cream jacket and he's commentating, it just makes you feel so whole.
He's cricket.
He is cricket.
He's cricket.
He's cricket.
No, I never met him. We never got to meet him.
Australian cricketers, right? We're being like patriotic here.
When we launched Fox Cricket, Steve Crawley, our boss, had been the former EP of Channel 9 Cricket.
Right.
So he brought along to the launch at the SCG Daphne Benno, Richie's wife.
Yes.
So this is high level cricket operation.
That is, yeah.
And Gilly introduces me to Daphne. And see, again, these are things that only Gilly can do.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a very unusual connection, he says, and I'm thinking this is a bit strange, he says to Daphne, Howie really likes Formula One. And I think, that's random. But Daphne is a massive Formula One fan.
Really?
And now you've got an in.
So Gilly, myself, and Daphne Benno are at the middle of the SCG talking Formula One. And I'm telling her how much I love Lewis Hamilton. At this stage, Gilly's all about Dan Ricciardo. Do you boys know anything about Formula One?
We know a little bit more in the last few weeks.
Okay. Daphne. When
We know not to question anybody who loves Formula One or make a mistake
right.
when talking about
Right.
it's
Alpine,
etc.
Well,
Yeah,
talking about
Verstappen,
Alpine or Alpine,
Yes.
driving for them at the time, Daphne's favourite Formula One driver was a chap by the name of Esteban Ocon. Now, that is like you putting Paul Nodes into this top. And I'm like, Esteban Ocon. I was like, so bizarre. So Richie's off to the side. Warney, Punter, and AB are in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who else are we throwing in there? Like, what about them? They can still. Well, they can't still be playing though, because these are greats to the
it's gotta be
past.
greats.
What about? I'm gonna. Well, Gilly's name's got.
Gilchrist is actually I was having a chat with my boy Ted this morning, and he's just frothing on cricket now, and he loves Alex Carey, and he remembered that Alex Carey had some record. I think Carey got a record like for the highest score overseas in Sri Lanka or something. And my son's like into the stats, and he's like, he's like, Carey's got the best record as a keeper for Australia. I was like, no, Ted, Gilchrist, like Gilly. He's like, nah, it's Carey, and I was like, I've promised him this afternoon. I'm showing him highlights of Gilly.
Well, I think therefore Gilly probably needs to go.
Gilly,
special player.
What's your young bloke's name?
Ted.
Okay, he needs to listen to Alex Carey on the Howie Games.
Yeah, okay.
Because it'll teach him a lot of valuable lessons about perseverance.
What a lovely man.
So Gilly,
too nice.
Too nice.
Gilly
too
goes
nice.
in. So Warney, Punter, Border, Gilly as our top favourite Aussies. We've got War floating around. We've got Benno floating around. And you got Steve War floating around.
Tugger
It's a
as
tough
well.
list as
Esteban
well.
Ocon.
Esteban Ocon.
Yeah, that's right.
He's
And
coming
Verstappen.
into the side.
Yeah.
So you have to come up with your number 5 so we
Do
can
you want
move
to
on.
have you got any names there that you?
Who was your favourite player as a kid?
Alan Border. Alan Border. Alan Border.
The Godfather.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
I don't know if he could fit in this list, but I've always been a big fan of Tim Payne.
Oh, TP.
When we started the Big Bash, Ricky took me down to the Hurricanes rooms first game. I knew nothing. I knew no cricketers. I was very inexperienced. Just called the first game, and he introduced me to Paney, and he gave me a tremendous amount of time. So I always, there's I'm not sure that I can wedge him into your top 5, Timmy Payne.
Yeah, because then you get to like DK Lily
DK
areas.
Lily?
Yeah, but you just don't. Because you know that it's in
a
there.
no,
you
but
know
I never,
that it's in there.
It's a bit the same as McGrath, like McGrath. He's one of the greats of the game, but he's just not.
Langer, Hayden.
Yeah, so Doss, the big Doss. Yeah.
I think. Look,
Come on.
Steve and Mark, we're going to have to cancel each other out for you and me. So let's say Richie.
Okay.
I think just for the iconography.
Righto,
of
so we
it
go Warney,
and the Daphne
Ponting,
story.
Richie, Border, and Gilly. Okay, now this is where it gets harder. Top 5 current favourite Australian cricketers.
Cummins. Cummins is going to go down
I
as a
think
legend.
Paddy's a lock. Yep.
Steve Smith.
Smith. I don't think we're getting any arguments here.
Heady.
Yeah.
Travis.
Top 5 current. Yeah.
Top 5 current players. Yeah.
I mean,
Travis Head. Yeah.
Just go through the testing, and then it's Stark.
It's Kratz. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stark.
And
I'm disappointed I haven't heard the name Usman Khawaja at this point. But
I mean, I've got Hoff ahead of Uzi for a career, which is important.
See, I've got Slug ahead of both of them.
You've got Bo Webster. Did you see the rocky cop from Shamar
It was a C.
I think he put Mayo on it as well, which is what a good club cricketer would do.
Who's your favourite to talk to?
My favourite,
because you're on the field before the day's play. Yeah. Spider Cam's coming down.
Usman.
You like to talk to Usman.
He's good. He's very nice.
See, he's got a bit of character as well.
He's got
He
character,
texted me a lot with
and
the
if you
BCCI
ask a
stuff.
shit question, he'll tell you it was a shit question.
Yeah.
I like the way Usman rolls.
He can get spiky,
He
and that's
can.
good.
He can get a bit spiky.
Yeah.
I don't mind Usman in the list, if I'm honest. I don't mind it, and he'll be pleased with that.
We'll put him in. Cummins, Smith, Head, Stark, Usman. Okay. Top 5 international cricketers of all time.
All time. Oh, all right. I have to honour my dad with this.
Yeah.
Like, Sobers has to be in there.
Sobers.
Well, Sobers is in the greatest 11 of any. I mean, he could be the greatest cricketer to have ever played.
Okay, so we'll actually go with the best here. We'll go with the best.
Oh, you want
so not our favourites? No, we're going the best. The best 5 cricketers. Okay. So you know how Wisden put out their best 5 cricketers?
Let's leave English people out of it.
Wisden put out their best 5 cricketers of the 20th century, and that is a tremendously well-rounded and popular. This will probably surpass what Wisden put out, I would have thought.
Surely.
When the 3 of us come out with our top 5 cricketers of all time.
Yeah.
Well, you know who, I mean, I'd say Sachin.
Sachin's got it.
Sachin, but where will Bumrah finish?
Sachin, I think we have
I
to
want-
put in
I-
as a
yeah,
lock.
Can we say not current?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Let's
yeah.
say not
Yeah,
current.
not
Sam
current.
Curran.
Is Lara? Yeah, no, Sam and Tom Curran.
Yeah.
Is Lara in there?
Well, we can't go back to Bradman, etc. people
No,
because
no,
we haven't
it's
seen
fine,
these
it's
blokes
fine.
play. It's got to be blokes
Yeah.
we've seen play.
Got to be with
Howie wants us to do this snappily.
No,
to,
no, I
like,
don't.
midfield,
No,
yeah.
no. That conversation can
What
be good.
about AB de Villiers?
I was AB. Yeah.
I'm not prepared to put him straight into
Yeah.
the list.
Well
Okay,
said.
okay.
That's good.
He's off to the side. I've got Sachin in. Are we putting Lara in?
Sorry, Sobers has to be in there if we're doing this. Like
You haven't
we
seen him
can't.
play.
We
I haven't seen it with my own eyes.
We haven't
The
seen him
numbers,
play.
The numbers are irrefutable.
No, but we haven't seen him play.
Oh, so you've got to have seen it.
He could have been a fraud for all we know.
Okay, so it's our era.
Unlikely
It's our era.
though.
Our era. Lara's going to
Could have been a fraud. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
probably been
I mean,
on Sir Garfield.
Well, Bradman last 2 balls facing Brett Lee. Now, okay, Sachin. Yeah, okay. If we're doing that, it's got to be BC Lara.
I think Lara goes in.
Is
And,
Callis in there?
So Ricky Ponting.
I know Punter said he's
Right,
to you.
Tim.
That was huge for Callis.
Yeah, that was.
exchange
For
you
his
guys
brand.
had.
Big for
But
his
it's
brand,
hard
yeah.
though because he didn't. With a great
didn't win.
respect, no, yes, there's that. He didn't have a great deal of sizzle. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sitting there to watch Callis battle bowl.
I tell you, one of the best players I've seen
Yep.
is Flintoff.
Now Flintoff.
Flintoff is not bad.
I'm putting him down the bottom. He's not in
Yeah,
the list yet.
yeah.
I put Callis down the bottom as
Yeah.
well.
Let's go through some countries as well.
Like
So-
Flintoff's bowling was just frightening.
We need it. We need
and,
it.
and why haven't we said Murley, guys?
I don't know. Why haven't we said Murley?
Well, I'm asking.
Did he ever do anything against Australia?
Yeah.
Did he?
He's like, I think he destroyed Australia.
He's down the
Just
bottom.
nobody-
He's down the bottom.
I don't. Okay. Yeah, how he
What
stayed
about
through that.
Beefy?
Well, I didn't see it as much, and,
Okay.
and you got to look into the 81 Ashes as well. You got to look into what happened halfway through that game as well. So,
Yeah.
What happened halfway through the Ashes?
well,
81.
public knowledge that this is genuinely public knowledge, by the way, and this is not accusation, but Rod Marsh and Dennis Lilly were offered like they took the odds.
Oh, the 500 to 1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, it was
500
500
Yeah.
one in England to win.
Yeah.
We'll have a go at that.
But they were still trying.
Of course,
Of course they
yeah,
would,
of course
yeah.
they would. It's just
Of course
when
they
you have
Yeah.
financial investment
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
other
yeah, yeah,
outcome.
yeah.
I don't see
When
the
you
problem.
get paid bugger all to
Yeah.
play for your country.
I don't
Yeah.
see the problem.
We got Sachin, we got Lara.
Okay,
Down the bottom,
okay,
we got
yeah.
Callis de Villiers, Flintoff, Murley.
I tell you another one that I've seen, Curtly.
Yeah.
Ambrose.
I'm
I'll
prepared.
I'll
I'm
pay
prepared to put
Kirtley.
him straight into
Yeah,
the list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Curtly.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a better fast bowler
Yeah,
than
I
Kirtley.
agree.
So Sachin, Lara, Kirtley. We
Yeah.
got 2 spots to go. Do we need like an all rounder? Flintoff would
Yeah.
be in there.
It's just that, yeah, I will put Flintoff in terms of like, because Australians only respect those who've played well against us and hurt us
Yeah,
and
it's
our
the fear.
feelings.
It's the fear.
Like, because there are players there that are like, oh, I'm told they were good, but it happened when I was asleep.
Yeah.
And therefore I won't. For example, MS Dhoni. Now,
Yeah.
Howie will stay well away of that. He'll see well clear. But
I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I'm disappointed. There's not more. I thought I would have gone with 5 Indians.
Yeah. Do you want to do a
We will
separate
do-
cut of this?
we will do a
Now,
separate-
You want to know how to get good at social?
Well,
Let's do that.
Yeah.
We will do that. That was on my list. Make
Yeah.
sure the great cricketers give you top 5 Indians so we can blow up on the
Top
ground.
5 world players.
That's
It's just
right.
Dhoni,
Yeah, yeah.
Kohli.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Sachin, Lara, Kirtley. Are we going to put Flintoff in?
I want
I think-
Flintoff,
I think
yeah,
Flint-
because of what he did.
His numbers aren't good, but his vibes.
It's what
Yeah,
he did to
yeah,
us. It's
yeah,
what he did to us.
yeah.
And then is there a
Flint?
Dale Steyn? Is there
Yeah,
a
Stay, Alan Donald,
Alan Donald,
Steyn.
Yeah.
What other
Was
countries
him?
exist?
Was him Akram?
Was him, yeah.
Was him
that's
Akram?
nice.
It's gotta be Was him
Yeah, it's
Akram.
got to be
Well done.
Was him.
It's gotta be
That's
Was him.
just
Well done.
that's a
Yeah.
bloody good call.
Well done, he goes.
Was him
Yeah.
goes in. So Sachin, Lara, Kirtley, Flintoff, and Was him.
Yeah.
Do you want to do now? We got 2 more lists to go. we either do.
Best afternoon
Let's do 5 worst Indian cricketers.
Yeah. 5
No.
was overrated.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Let's do 5 match fixers.
No, let's not do that either. Let's not do that either.
Patreon.com.
That's unrelated. That's unrelated.
Let's not
That's
do that.
unrelated.
Yeah.
Okay, top 5 Indian cricketers of all time.
Okay.
Sachin?
Sachin.
Mancad. No,
Sachin?
Sachin.
let's say some names of players.
Oh,
Got to be
Yeah,
Kohli.
Virat.
Kohli.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. He's a lock.
Yeah,
A lock.
absolutely.
I am happy to put Bumrah in as a lock.
Yep.
Okay,
I
yeah,
agree.
definitely.
I
Because
agree.
he's the best Indian fast bowler we've
I
ever
agree.
seen.
Definitely.
He could be the
definitely.
greatest ever.
He could be.
Now,
So
do you want MS Dhoni in your list?
No, he's
he's down the bottom.
Okay.
He's down the bottom.
I understand
He's in
Dhoni's-
consideration.
I understand the deification of Dhoni because he was the captain when they won the World Cup and they kind of broke that duck. And it's about Indian confidence
Yep.
and his manner in achieving that. That he's very special to Indians. It's just that it was sort of looked like symbols against us in Test cricket out here. So
I think a lot of his love is based on IPL as well.
Yes.
Which the Australian audiences probably don't quite comprehend. So
Yeah.
he's down the bottom. We've got Sachin, Kohli, Bumrah.
What about Harbhajan Singh?
I'll put it down the bottom as a maybe. Down the bottom.
Yeah, very good.
Okay, it's gotta be
Dravid. These are guys we've seen, right?
Yeah, the guys.
Yeah, I mean, what
we've
about
seen.
what Laxman did to us?
Dravid,
Or
Laxman,
Sonny
they're all down there.
Gavaskar.
Yeah, Sonny G.
I think
Sonny.
G.
I think Gavaskar's got to be in there. He was
Yeah.
the first man past
Yeah.
10,000 test runs.
Yeah, but did you see it?
I never saw it.
Yeah. Is he a fraud?
Do we have to have seen it?
No, I
Oh, well, Sonny's got to be in there.
yeah,
I
okay.
think
So
so.
Gavaskar. So we've got one spot left.
The Nawab of Patowdy.
We haven't mentioned Ravi Shastri here of the Tracer Bullet as well.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
did some
yeah.
amazing
Yeah.
things.
No, good
Yeah.
commentator.
Yeah.
Oh, so Pez is saying hello to Ravi, who
yeah,
listens to the
He-
show.
He won't mind that.
Ravi's out. So we got Sachin, Kohli, Bumrah, Gavaskar. Harbhajan's not a bad shout. Who'll be the other great batsman?
Kumble.
Kumble, 500 plus
Yeah,
wickets.
I've
right,
probably
he's
got. I mean,
Ganguly's down the
Ganguly.
bottom.
No, not for me.
Sorry, not for Pez. Again,
yeah.
Sam said no to
Yeah.
Mr.
Carry
Ganguly.
on.
There's no other seamer I can think of like Zahir Khan. Or,
No.
No, please.
No,
please.
so it's a spinner
it's gotta be
or a batter.
or a stick.
So
yeah.
it's to me it's like it's Dravid or Kumble for me.
Kapil Dev?
Yeah. Oh,
Kapil Dev.
Nice, not bad, not bad.
I think Indians would say Kapil
I
Dev
think he
has to
goes
be
in.
there.
Well, Indians,
I think he goes
yeah,
in.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Dev. So we go Sachin, Kohli, Bumrah, Gavaskar, Dev.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Not
Happy with that. Happy with that.
Top 5 favourite
Yeah.
cricket commentators.
Oh well.
Now,
no.
just be very, very careful
Why are you
here.
asking?
Yeah.
No, I've got one that is a lock for me, but I'm throwing up names. Let's go.
See, we've got to do a funny list and then
Yeah.
a serious list because commentary is one of those things where, like, and I will tell you about it, Howie.
Yes,
But,
please do.
no, like it is. I
What
mean,
do you
there
don't
is
understand about
I,
commentary?
trust me,
What you
everyone's
need-
got an opinion, so I'm happy to receive
No, it's
yours.
one thing we've learned, not through doing it, but like it is obviously so much more difficult. Like, it's something that everybody thinks they can do, and very few people can do. Right?
But everyone's happy to come up and tell you that they could do
Absolutely.
it better than you.
exactly.
Punter.
You got punter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy to put him in as
Is
a
this
lock.
in this is in the world, right?
Yeah.
Or just in Australia in the
No,
world?
in the world.
Well, I think NASA should be in there.
I'm gonna
Put it down the bottom.
Are we putting punter in?
Can we put in? Can we just put a few down?
Okay.
Like a few at the
And
bottom.
it's current, right?
Yeah,
Current or all time?
Because otherwise Richie's in there.
Current.
Yeah.
Current. Okay.
Current,
Yeah,
current.
okay.
So this is the Richie Benaud top 5. It's named after Richie, but he's not currently doing
Got it. I like that. Yeah.
I've got one for me that is
Yeah.
a lock because I think he's the best ball by ball caller in world cricket. Is Ian Smith.
Yes,
That's a great
And you know
shout.
who else I like as well? I like.
But the
and
fact
this-
that Pez moved on very quickly seems
Oh, sorry.
he's not
No,
a
you made
lock.
me passionate.
So he's
Yeah.
getting
no,
down
no,
the bottom.
Smith's
there.
good.
I think Ian Smith's a good call. I'm happy with that.
Are,
just figured,
are you happy for us to put Smith
Yeah,
in?
yeah, happy
So
with
he's
that.
our first
Yeah,
lock.
and he has that incredible moment, the 29.
He's got the
He did. And you know what he did? I noticed this the other day. You were probably in your corporate suite when the World Test Championship.
We're warming up now.
when the World Test Championship was won, with about 5 or 6 runs to go, Matthew Hayden started pumping up Smithy as the man to call the moment, and this is what the world wants. You've got your best ball by ball, which I would have thought would have been tremendously uncomfortable for Smithy. When the winning runs were struck, Sean Pollock was in commentary with Matthew Hayden and Ian Smith. Smithy was the ball by ball. He stopped and he got Sean Pollock to call
Yes.
the winning runs.
Yes.
To me, that is the epitome. That's not even a word. That is the reason why Smithy is the best, because he is that generous in commentary as well.
Yeah.
So unless I've got a big no, he's in.
Okay.
No, Smith's
No,
Smith's
I
okay.
like it. I like
Okay.
it.
Howie, what's been the best call you've ever done in cricket?
It's not a long list.
What's something that it just came out beautifully? It was a big moment.
Boland.
You nailed it.
Yes.
Boland. That's,
Well done.
See,
As soon as you say that, I can
That's
hear
almost-
you saying it.
yeah.
Now we've got elephant in the room. Where do you place yourself
Where
in
do you-
that list of
yeah,
five?
yeah.
In the list of
Yeah.
five.
Are you down the bottom or
Yeah.
yeah? Are you
Where do you
second?
come in 1
Yeah.
to 5?
I would think I'd be in the top 5.
Indian cricketers.
That's a subcategory. And you two are in this. Top 5 lucky bastards to be able to work in cricket.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I'm fitting in.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm fitting in there.
No,
Yeah.
what you need to do there is when people do these lists and they go, I guess I have to give myself a game with these guys.
I'm not putting myself in there. But so we've got Smithy, we've got NASA, punter, I've got to
some
throw.
obscure ones.
Okay,
Like I like Simon Dool.
Simon Dool.
I like Mark Butcher.
Okay,
I
Mel
think
Jones.
Mel Jones is great. Isha's great.
Aisha's good.
but very good. Simon Dool, the only man to be able to call a World Cup cricket game while watching horse racing in a completely different country. A rare skill that Ricky Ponting and Mark Waugh both have.
I was gonna say,
They both have that.
Yeah.
Mark Butcher, one of the most talented musicians you could meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you are in Jamaica on a beach and one of the locals offers you one of the local products, Mark Butcher may say yes.
Yeah, I love it. So would I. But,
So
I like Ian Bishop as well.
now this is one I was
Bishop's
going to
good.
throw.
Yeah,
Bishop's good.
To me, the amount of preparation he does, the timbre of his voice.
Yes.
I think Bish is in.
I'm
Bish
good,
Is in.
Yeah.
good,
Well, it's
good, good. So we got Smith. We got the two Ians.
We're taking this.
This,
the
so
most
so
seriously.
far,
Yeah.
this is the top 5 commentators with the name of Ian in World Cup.
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
Ian Smith. We got Ian Bishop.
Yeah. Is there a Higgins in there?
Yeah. Not yet.
Who else commentates on the cricket?
Well, there's all sorts of specials. So you've got your Petersons, you got your Pollocks, you got your Laras, you got your big time ex-cricketers.
I think Ravi's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think Ravi's.
Yeah, it's
I
a voice.
was glad someone brought his
yeah. I
to
think-
the table
I think
because
Ravi should be in
you
Yeah.
didn't put Ravi in your top 5 Indian cricketers of
No,
all
I didn't.
time.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
But are we locking him in as a top 5 commentator?
Yeah, I think for
so.
commercial
Okay.
reasons for us.
And me. And me very aligned
No,
with the
I like-
BCCI as well.
Yeah, I like Ravi.
Okay. Ravi Shastri, Ian Smith, Ian Bishop.
I think Pundit should be in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
agree.
Yeah,
I think
good
Pundit
call.
should be in
Good
there.
call.
I would.
And someone from Channel 7 as well. I know how we can't put that in. But
Yeah, no, I can. Because I work with him internationally, so I can put him in.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I warn he would have gone in this
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he had an unbelievable insight. He could stick on a point as well, the great man. But
When Warney was locked in to a
Yeah.
cricket conversation,
Yep.
it was,
He was-
goated, as I would say.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
he was.
Yeah.
I want to throw one up that you haven't put because I work with him. I understand for our lunch show he's very, very funny, but he's also a great analyst and his opinion holds very good weight. Is Michael Vaughan?
Oh, interesting. That's it. Yeah. When you know what, I find him a very good media performer.
Very good.
He definitely knows how to, arrange his words in a way that is compelling. Like I'm not sure I always agree with his opinion. Not that that particularly matters, but he is evocative.
He is.
So,
So
I'm
he'd
not going
be
to put
in-
him ahead of like Nasser or Athers though. For me,
I would.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
But
It's
in the
open to
same
debate.
in the same breath though, with that show, the lunchtime show you guys do,
Yes.
Kerry is also. See, Kerry's so
see.
researched.
So-
he's
so
so
yes,
researched.
that's
and he's
remiss
versatile.
of
I
us.
want Kerry.
I think Kerry
Yeah,
is.
I want Kerry.
So okay.
Look at Charles.
So we're putting Kerry in.
Do you feel like with Kerry? I mean, you work with him.
Yep.
Like with Kerry.
Yep.
Like because he's so funny, it almost takes away with how researched and how spot on his opinions are.
That
often.
is a very accurate statement because people see him as the class clown.
Yeah, and he's
but
not at all.
the amount of research and work he does.
Yeah.
So we're going with Smith, Bishop, Shastri, Ponting, and O'Keefe.
That's a pretty good list.
Yeah, like if you're saying that is the commentary lineup for a game that we're watching, I'd be very into that.
So let me just say, Ian Bishop and Ricky Ponting at Channel 7. So 2 in our World's Best
Yep.
at Channel 7.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you got Ian Smith, who works for Fox. You've got Ravi Shastri, who works for Fox, and you've got Kerry O'Keefe. So Fox just wins 3-2.
Yeah.
So
And
I
that's
think
very important for us,
politically,
yeah.
politically, I think that's a good
Yeah,
list
that's
as well.
And the BCCI's looked after there as well.
That's
so
right. That's right. That's right.
everybody's happy.
I would have put a couple more Indians in personally.
I got MS Stoney in there.
Yep, I've got.
Never heard him speak, but
Beautifully done. Listen, I've taken up enough of your time. You guys have. It's a wandering episode, and it's part business and it's part cricket. You've had tremendous success, and I think the thing I love about what you've done is not that it matters what I think, but I hope people take away from this that you put your nuts on the line. You gave away your jobs to follow your passion, and it's obviously working out wonderfully successful for you. If you could give any advice to anyone out there, especially younger people that are hoping to achieve success in their field, serious question for you two gentlemen. Do you have kids, Hugo?
No,
Okay,
not yet.
so you probably understand the weight of the question a touch more, Pez, but just a little thought on that one as we go.
advice to
For those that are wanting to achieve success in their field, not necessarily your field, but just in their field of passion.
that there is no substitute for persistence. things. Patience and persistence are very unfashionable traits, but traits that are always present in sustainably successful people. It is grit and persistence and the ability to stick with things through thick and thin.
Great answer.
Completely agree with that sentiment. I think the magic that people are looking for often is in the hard work that they're avoiding. And that's true in lots of different things, I think. So persistence, hard work, unfortunately boring, but is rewarding in the end.
It could have made you a first-class cricketer.
Definitely would
Or
have
even
done.
first grade.
Yeah.
So the like the suppressed premise is that he had the talent to do that.
That's right.
Of course.
But he
Well,
didn't put in the effort.
Yeah.
I
What
still
a
can.
player.
I still can. What a player I was.
Yeah.
And what a way to sign off.
Unrealized talent. I will say this in Higo's like to Higo's credit. There's a friend of mine that played a lot of first class cricket through the 90s, who's played like with punter, with everybody's played against international players, who's played with Higo's at his club level and said Higo's is in the top 3 fielders that he's ever played with or against.
It's a bloody important part of the game.
Yeah.
You spend more time in
Yeah.
the field than
Yeah.
the other components.
Really good fielder.
Unbelievably backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
Like, what was he like as a cricketer? He was a good fielder.
Top 3 fielders.
Yeah.
Well, punter had
Yeah.
been. I mean, talking of lists.
Yeah. He used to run and get the bowler's hat. He used to do
Yeah.
that better than anyone.
Yeah.
It's better than he's a great 12 man. Far better than that.
Yeah.
Boys, people just Google the grade cricketer if you're not onto what they do and you're going to be entertained whether you're into cricket or not. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for having a chat.
Howie,
Thanks, Howie.
Howie, thanks for having us and congratulations on all your success as well. You're very much like out in front leading this field. So we've been a big admirers from afar. And so congrats on all your work as well and for shining a brief spotlight on us.
And we'll come back next week. We'll do it again. We'll come
I'm
back.
happy to.
I'm not doing
I'm
anything
happy
else.
to. I'm happy to.
Yeah.
We'll have you back on our show,
Yeah.
Howie, and we'll do a few different lists.
I would
that
love
you-
to.
that-
I would love
that
to.
You may or may not be interested in doing.
I'm interested as long as there's
With
no
those commentators, but it's more
anti-BCCI sentiment.
Yeah.
I'm coming on.
Have you
Well
been to
done.
Ravi's house?
Well
Yeah,
done.
Ravi's house.
We